Let's test the damage for Priestess. Now first things first. How much attack is considered fine? 1.7 to 1.8k is like the higher recommendation, right? But I think crit damage is more important generally. Okay, so the boss is going to do this. Increase enemy crit damage for 10 turn, right? So we are not going to apply this stuff. So we're gonna go with Helena. Helena right here. Buff. So what are we comparing, right? We are going to compare the damage between Sword Priestess, in this case, again I haven't potential liberate her, versus Sword Maiden versus Priestess, right? So let's pretend that we're gonna use this Sword Maiden, we're gonna use the straight line for Michaela, we're gonna put her in the middle. So we are just going to do this, right? We are just going to do this. She doesn't need to do that. Okay, so this is going to be our first setup, right? We don't apply Sword Maiden. So I'm going to try to do this in particular and look at the damage. So buff from Helena, Celia for the stack chain. This for the amp. Okay. So that's what it is. So right now you can see this is how much damage I'm doing, right? So we got about 9.3 million. And then 5.8 million. Okay. But I think to be fair, we maybe have to test with Rafithea, because at the end of the day, 5 chain is still 5 chain, right? How do you use Michaela on Fiend Hunter? Do you only use the -6 SP skill on last turn? You only use the -6 S. No, you can use the -6 SP whenever you want. Just stack it enough to the point. But yeah, you use it on the not on the last turn, but on the last order. Wait. On the second last order, so that the character that gives SP moves afterwards. Alright? So that's what it is. Okay, let's retry again, right? So let's do the comparison. So now, we're gonna not use her. We're gonna use Sword Maiden. Sword Maiden will be the one help us to stack chain 5 times, alright? So let's have a look. In this particular case, is this going to be better? Buff, Celia chain, another 5 chain, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and boom. Okay. Alright, so is that actually better, right? So as you can see, we are doing less. Okay, so earlier we managed to get Michaela 9.3 million, 5.8 million on Earth Mother, right? And now we get Beachside just now we get 6.3 and 3.5. So Sword Maiden doesn't do as much damage in comparison to my Earth Mother Believer Priestess. Alright. Now again, I don't think we need to compare to Michaela because I think it's going to be an unfair comparison, right? So yeah, Priestess is going to be better generally, right? But what if we put Levia into the equation? I mean, if Priestess is better, I think Levia is also going to be better, right? So that's just what it is. What if I use Rafithea, right? What if I use Rafithea in this case? Because since she is stacking chain, right? Since she is stacking chain, would Rafithea be better? So let's take out team formation. We're gonna take her out. We're gonna use Rafithea this time around. Where is Rafithea? Because she has a lot of chain, right? How could this be? How could this be? Sometimes things just gotta be. So Rafithea is going to use... Oh crap, I don't even have enough SP to use Rafithea. Oh, I'm 1 SP short. I have a feeling if I can use Wedding Rafithea, it would solve most of the issue. So what if I just use this then? Let's say Celia don't exist, right? I don't think this would be better. Ah damn, I'm 1 SP short, man. Okay. So, with Rafithea, with Rafithea, it does fix the issue. 9.3 million, so almost there. But still not quite with the Priestess level, right? So it does fix the issue a little bit. So now I'm curious, right? I'm going to do this separately. I will not attack in the first turn. We're gonna fill up the SP. And then I'm curious in terms of Priestess versus Sword Maiden. So the boss will apply crit damage, increase enemy crit rate and crit damage for 200%, right? So I will get the buff first, and then I want to do like a buff comparison. Okay, give me all the SP. So I have to wait for turn 2. Okay, now I'm gonna go this buff with Rafithea, stack with Celia chain, use in this case 5 stack chain. So this is with Wedding Rafithea's buff, mind you, right? We are getting Wedding Rafithea's, if you guys are not aware, she applies chain reinforcement. So that means she's going to increase this chain value 7 times by Celia and 5 times by her. Is going to increase in proportion. So we're gonna get this damage right here. So let's compare this damage. Boom. Boom. Okay, 14 chain right there. This is going to be 10 chain, 24. Okay, so that is going to be the damage that we have. And this is going to be what we have turn 2, right? So let me screenshot this particular one. Boom. And then let's do a comparison. Let's take her out. And then we're going to compare in her place. It's going to be Priestess instead. Alright, we do a comparison. Would Priestess be better? Both of them are +4, right? The gears are a little bit different. I'll show you guys shortly. But let's see a same concept. I think this is as fair as it gets for testing. Round 1, we don't do anything. Because we want to get the boss crit rate, crit damage buff. So let the boss give us whatever buff that we can for the first turn. Make sure the comparison is fair. Okay, now we go in, alright? So, Helena, Rafithea, and then we go with Celia, this particular costume. And then instead of Sword Maiden earlier, we apply Priestess. So she will be in the middle. So Priestess is going to be, she only hit once, so she doesn't hit 5 times, but she gives 75% vulnerability, right? And then we go Michaela afterwards. Okay, do this. Boom. So which one do you guys think is better? 75% vulnerability? Ooh. Okay. So, putting Sword Maiden with Rafithea, right, earlier, we actually got less. Okay, so my screenshot earlier, so as you can see, I have Celia and Rafithea for the chain. Alright, Wedding Rafithea, Celia, and Sword Maiden. With the 5 chain, she hits 5 times. We get 20 million on Beachside Michaela. But now Beachside Michaela get 27 million. Alright, and then for 5 chains, she did 11 million. But my Earth Mother Priestess did 16 million. Alright, even though she hits 5 times, and my Earth Mother Believer only hit once, but I do be having the vulnerability, right? And also my multiplier is not too bad. I'm quite surprised by that actually, right? To be fair, I do have her potential liberated as well. So there's going to be that as well, right? So if you can only pull for one, obviously you go with Priestess. Right, again, this is Priestess damage. This is the previous damage, right? Priestess sweep. Okay, very, very cool. Okay, let me screenshot that as well, and let's, I think to be fair, let's bring up Levia, right? So if Levia were to be in there. But I think previously we have seen before, Levia is better than Priestess. So there's also going to be that as a factor or equation. So regardless, okay, so let's just out of curiosity, let's try with Levia. Priestess is amp, so she has more value. Yeah, but you would assume that Rafithea Wedding and also the 5 chains on Sword Maiden can also help increase the value. But I guess that's not the case, right? So let me see. So if I were to use Levia, which I think is even going to be better, right? Does Levia and Priestess stacks? Oh yeah, it does. It does stack. But you can only bring so much character, right? 5 characters, so you gotta like decide on situation. I guess it's good if you want to build a second team. Okay, so same testing. I'm going to go with this, do the Wedding Rafithea, but this time we're going to apply Levia with the... So Levia has slightly more vulnerability, right? Hers is 100% at the other side targets, but main target get 120%. So let's see, this one will be even more. I'm pretty sure this one will be even more, because logically, we also hit 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, that is a little bit more. You can feel the difference right there in the bar. So as you can see, even more, right? So with Levia, so earlier with Priestess, we got 27, and Priestess herself is doing 16, right? Now with Levia, we got 39. Okay, Levia is doing 10 million, right? Now again, why Priestess is doing more is because the boss is a dark type. So we do have the advantage in terms of the element, right? So we are going to do more than Levia, because Levia is a fire, we don't get the elemental advantage, whereas Priestess do get it, right? So that's what it is. So as you can see, Celia right here, and then this is what it is. So yeah, there's going to be that, right, discrepancy. I think that's pretty interesting results.